Turning 20 is our new program, which we commissioned to celebrate our 20th anniversary. So it's a little bit of a coming of age, getting a bit mature. We've commissioned again a triple bill like last year. We're interested in seeing how one piece can relate to another or not, and to offer a variety of dance styles while keeping the dancers, the cast, as the continuum, as the common thread of the work.
Each piece is really focusing on the relation I develop with someone, and every time that's the beginning of all the process. The meeting I'm going to have with the people of the company is going to define the content of the piece.
Rachid is interested in finding out something about the performer, each performer, and he just orchestrated that in a beautiful way.
He was amazing to work with, really. It felt that he, from the beginning, had a very invested interest in collaborating with us.
I made some interviews in the beginning to know them a bit more, and not only through their body potential. I just propose some ideas that we explore through improvisation.
He asked us to do something that we were comfortable with, and for me that's something, you can do anything. It's really super open, it's really super playful, and yet out of that something that is very personal about you came out.
You can offer something that perhaps you can see yourself doing for the next 18 months on tour. The back band, sure, I could hang out there all day.
I came with my collaborator, Jean-Baptiste, the composer, and it's a very important part of the project.
We've got 5 guitars on stage that are both played by Chris, but also they're part of the set.
Within Rachid's work, we're working with a live installation, which is just, it's something we've never worked with before. So you're working with instruments, which in a sense is a machine.
He said many times, play it like it's a concert. So like if you're moving, it's like being part of an orchestra.
Yes, it has movement elements in it, but really the movement, the dance serves the sound. It's like a musical, rhythmic sound score that happens to be performed with movement.
I've heard people say that Rachid's piece really elicits a very kind of visceral or emotional response, and they don't quite know why maybe at first.
Vicky Malin performs a solo by Matthias Sperling called This Is It. And it's the first time Candoco commissioned a solo.
To be the first person to do a solo for Candoco is obviously a real honour. I feel privileged to do it, and it's really exciting.
I was very happy that Stina and Pedro asked me to make a solo. I do have some sort of overriding interests in my work that revolve around looking at the relationship between mind and body. One of the main starting points was the idea that the self is not fixed, but might be mobile.
This is it. This is it.
There's different sides to each individual, and you're different in different situations, and so we're really looking at how your person, yourself, can expand and contract.
Vicky's dancing is not just the movement of her muscles and bones, but it is also the movement of the boundaries of her own self that somehow she is making visible.
The ideas for the costume started very early on in the process. Matthias was clear that he wanted something quite unusual, or maybe a little bit out of place in the contemporary dance world.
I think the idea with the costume and the idea with the piece in general is how can Vicky's power be amplified to the greatest degree possible. This piece is not at all about acting or fantasizing anything. It's really about Vicky being herself. It's a real thing.
I don't want to say much about the solo. It has an element of surprise in it, and is very different, and it definitely showcases Vicky's talents.
In an ideal world, I'd like the audience to know nothing. I think anticipation is good.
Long, 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 long time no see. Long, long, long.
Stina and I had seen Set and Set live when we were in our last year of training, and I know for me it just stuck with me a lot because I remembered a lot. So I think we had this attraction to the work.
Set and Reset Reset as a project is unusual in that it's not a pure reconstruction. Dancers work with the original phrase material, the original vocabulary that's the fabric of the piece, but the forms that they can create are entirely new.
The dancers have really to understand the mechanics, the process of it in order to do it. And it is a landmark choreography. It has lots of Trisha's thinking in it.
It's where dance begun in a way for me, and certainly you always feel that every piece that's modern piece that's being done now is always acknowledging the history.
I love the practicality of the work and how it functions. It is function, it's not ornament. But it's also deeply human. It's born of our impulses and our instincts and our responses and our moods.
It's always great to learn from someone who has first-hand experience of the work. It's inspiring to have someone of that calibre as someone who knows exactly how it functions.
I think she gave us so much detail and information that we own it and we do it the way that the company does, but we're also doing it in our own relation to space, our bodies and each other.
And one of the kind of rules of the piece is act on instinct, and that's both in the making of it but really in the performing of it as well. It involves 7 bodies, 7 people making decisions, moving in this incredibly complex, multi-layered way, and so you do have to put a lot of rehearsal in and be really aware of everyone around you.
For me, it's kind of interesting because I'm a total I love anatomy and I'm kind of a dork, so I love just going like, oh look, and then your hip does that, isn't that interesting? And it makes your arm swing.
It's just a beautiful thing to watch and like see everybody moving and interacting with each other.
I think that people who know Set and Reset will come to see this and they'll see Set and Reset. It is recognizable not only because it travels in a certain pathway, it follows a certain topography, but because it has a certain way of being inside of the piece, which is something that is discovered over a duration of time.
We really are recreating the original work, but it's our version of it, which was really hard, really challenging, but really, really inspiring.
We're dealing with a wider spectrum of different kinds of moving bodies. The thing that I think was really wonderful and mind-blowing to me is, oh, actually the questions that we're asking here are not at all different. They're exactly the same as when we're working with any other company. This is no different. It's just that the questions get juicier.
This is another out there program.
It's very diverse, 3 different pieces.
I think This Is It will be a hit.
So there's a few surprises that hopefully people will like.
I think it's going to be a really great and exciting program.
That's why I like mixed bills, because it allows you to have very different things in the same evening and at the same time relate them to each other a little bit. They have same concerns in a way, which is, I like that.